How do you do? This is Mayor Hawthorne, and I am streaming through your internet bandwidth at mvremix.com. Holler at the kid.
Oh.
Good side?
Got your good side, Jack.
Good. Studley.
So we're at the Commodore Ballroom with Mayor Hawthorne.
How do you do?
Good to meet you.
Likewise.
So we're just curious, get some feelers. Have you been to Vancouver before?
I have visited, but this will be my first time performing in Vancouver. I'm juiced. This is, I think, probably my favorite Canadian city.
Word. How do you like Canada in total? People nicer here?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
People apologize a lot?
Nah, I don't find it that way. You know, I think people are great here. Yeah.
Cool. And where is your hometown?
Well, I grew up just outside of Detroit in Ann Arbor, Michigan, but I live in Los Angeles now.
Do you ever go back home?
I go back home as much as possible. I love it there. That's where my heart is. You know,
Okay.
That's where most of my family still lives. All my family still lives there, pretty much. And they got the best record stores and the best food. So I try to go back to Detroit as much as possible. And the most soul. Nobody's
So
got more soul than the D.
Is that where you find like sort of that soul feel for your music?
That's definitely a big part of it. Yeah.
So tell us, you have a really unique sound and style. Tell us a little bit about that.
Unique is the most endearing compliment that you can give me. You know, a lot of people describe my music as like retro or throwback, and you know it's important to pay homage to the founders of this music. You know, I have a great deal of respect for the history of soul music and music in general, but I'm trying to create something new and different and push the envelope and really create something new. So unique is, that's what I'm going for.
That's awesome. What are your musical inspirations?
You know, anything creative and different and a little, you know, my album was called A Strange Arrangement. I'm a little strange. I'm a strange guy, and I like music that is a little strange, you know. I focus on songwriting, you know. My music is very melody driven and harmony driven, but it's also a little strange.
So does that explain the Heartshaped album?
Yeah.
That's more of a testament to my affection for vinyl records in general. I'm an addict. I'm gonna come right out and say it. I'm addicted to vinyl records. I mean, I dig for them every chance I can. And when I got a chance to put out my own record, I wanted to do something special for lovers of vinyl like myself, and so, you know, something that would be remembered and that wouldn't get lost in the record store. Something that would stand out.
So what are some of your favorite artists?
That's a big question.
You can go with genres if you like.
I mean,
Or
as
guilty
far as
pleasures.
soul music goes, you know, definitely Smokey Robinson, obviously Curtis Mayfield, Barry White, Michael Jackson, Michael Henderson. But you know, I don't want people to think that I'm just a straight soul guy. You know, I honestly never had any plans to record an album of soul music until I met Peanut Butter Wolf. And I had just done a couple demos for fun on the side in my bedroom, and I come from more of a hip hop background, and you know, I grew up on on the Beatles and the Byrds and the Hollies and the Police and
Word.
no, Motown for sure, just growing up in that area. But I listen to all kinds of music. You know, probably my favorite artist out there right now is this girl from Norway named Hannah Huckelberg.
Yeah.
I'm just obsessed with her. I think she's one of the coolest artists out there right now.
Awesome.
So how did you first get into music, get started?
I had very musical parents. I got really lucky and just, landed in a dope family with really cool parents. And my mom played piano and sang and danced, and my dad played bass guitar. He still plays bass in a band in Michigan to this day.
Oh, cool.
And they taught me to play music when I was really young. And they were always buying me records. And I've been DJing, since my whole life, since before I could read the labels on the records. I had my Fisher-Price record player, and that was all I wanted to do all day was play records. So that comes from my parents.
Yeah. That's cool. So how would you say it's evolved from, like you were saying, you had some hip hop in there? And
well, yeah, I've been a hip hop DJ and producer for the past 10 or more years. So this is a step in a different direction for me, but it's all very related. All my favorite hip hop tracks all have some sort of sample in them from a 30-year-old soul record usually, and that was actually sort of my main goal when I first started recording these demo tracks, was to create songs that I could sample to make hip hop productions out of, because clearing samples is expensive and it's a royal pain in the ass. So I figured I would make my own soul samples, and then I wouldn't have to pay anybody to clear them. And it turned into a whole album, and then that album turned into a monster.
That's awesome. So where do you see your music going? Like, what are your goals?
I'm gonna scare some people.
Awesome.
But hopefully it doesn't scare anyone. But I'm gonna definitely keep surprising people. That's the word.
Like to push the
I'm
limits,
gonna
eh?
surprise people. Yeah, I really like to push people's expectations, and I'm working on a new wave album right now that's gonna be something like a complete departure from what I'm doing right now. And, I'm always working on new music and all kinds of music. I'm working on new, soul music. I just did a remix for Snoop Dogg that's very hip hop related. I just did some tracks with a hip hop producer named Knox out of Virginia. Those are a little more hip hop, but then I'm working on a covers EP right now where I'm just covering some of my favorite songs, and I'm working on some boogie funk tracks. I'm gonna see what I can get away with on the real.
Yeah. So how long does it take you to compose something? Can you just pop it right out, or does it take a while?
It's usually very quick, yeah, but it's not like I feel like I don't have any control over it mostly. It just kind of is beamed out of the sky and
Do you
it lands in my head. I wish I had more control honestly over when it came, because usually it comes at the most inconvenient time, and I'll be right in the middle of something else important, and a whole song will pop in my head, and I'll have to stop everything that I'm doing. And I got a little voice memo recorder in my phone now that I just lay all my ideas down.
Well, that's key.
So
I'll be standing outside of the grocery store in the parking lot singing into my phone, looking absolutely insane, and it frightens people, but I don't want to forget the song.